Thank you all for coming. So, it's obviously about a hackerspace. And the reason, when I created this presentation, I asked myself one really simple question: why this talk? And we're all hackers here, right? And right. So I was thinking to myself, we all know what a hackerspace is because we're all hackers and we have spaces to gather around, but we don't really know that. There are multiple reasons. Hackerspace as a culture is new in our region, so we're not really aware what a hackerspace is. And just a little bit of history. It's not a long history, unfortunately. We had only one hackerspace in Belgrade called Hacklab. So greetings to the guys. And in our maybe inability to have a hackerspace in our town, we really don't know what that is, and unfortunately our region even doesn't know we need it, which is logical actually. If you don't know what something is, you really don't know you need it, and we do. Trust me, we do. So, what is a hackerspace? It's a physical place where hacker meets, obviously, but it's more than that. The meeting started, at least for us from Novi Sad, with we got bored from IRC and handles and seeing all that text and scrolling the log, and we really wanted to know each other. So we really needed a space, so we started in local cafes with beer, of course, and it was the only place we could actually meet because we didn't have our own. And about a hackerspace, it's not that much about the space itself. It's not about the physical place. It's mostly about ideas. Because I open my eyes and I have idea, and unfortunately my fiance is the only person I can talk to at that moment. So I really need people to tell them my idea and to tell me it sucks, it's great, it's somewhere in the middle, change this, change that, whatever. Just developing ideas is an important topic. And it's all about helping out, because no one in the world knows everything, and no one in the world is without problems. So we tend to solve problems by helping out. We do have some experience, you do have some experience, and the mixture of that gives better knowledge, better solutions. When I say better solutions, it's software, hardware. It might be mechanics. It can be science, physics. I don't know if you heard a talk from a physician from DZ, for example. It's all about collaboration and help to each other. And we all have something we know, something we're familiar with, so we can give you examples, we can give you experience, or you can come and give it to us, something we never thought about, and it's super cool and super new. So please do that. What else is a hackerspace? There's something called open houses, where hackerspaces show off what they've been doing to the public, meaning not only to the people that are visiting hackerspaces regularly, but a way of having new people drawn to the hackerspace and showing them our new toys, our new ideas, and whatnot, whatever came to our mind. one of the ways to learn is to have classes, so we try to give classes. When I say we at this point, I mean we as a global hacker community. There are new skills or new ideas you can learn through classes and workshops and maybe new hardware. As long as it's crazy and new and interesting, it has to be fun. Otherwise, it's not worth it. So the classes and workshops are one way to achieve it. And collaborative projects, maybe I hear a talk from someone in a hackerspace, and I say, okay, this is a cool idea. I want to work on this. I want to work with you because I like you, or whatever my reasons are for contributing to a collaborative project. And I do have examples of collaborative projects in our own hackerspace. I will talk about that later. And unfortunately, the financing, we thought it's always troublesome, but that's the least of our problems. It's weird, but it is. So fundraising nights or donation nights are organized, for example, once a month to pay the bills and whatever expenses we have for new hardware, for new wires. You always need copper, you always need soldering, soldering irons, whatever your expenses are, you somehow have to compensate for them. And it showed out that fundraising nights are the best way to do it. From hackerspaces.org site, they have organized global events and global meetings of hackerspaces. So one of them is a call-in, which provides an opportunity for existing hackerspaces to update and highlight upcoming events. So you can call people from around the world or region or wherever to participate in your activities you plan for your people, for your crew. It's all about your crew, always. There's something called synchronous hackathon. Hackathon is when we gather in a room or a cafe earlier in a hackerspace today, and we work on the same problem. Maybe we're not interested in the same problem, but for example, I like to see even a solution to the problems I never know existed. So it's a synchronous in a way. Belgrade and us do it together as a region, or a Hulk team from Croatia, or whoever you find is suitable to sync with and do something fun. Always has to be fun. And there's a global hackerspace hackathon challenges, and they're held each month. And hackerspaces.org comes up with a challenge for hackerspaces around the globe, and there are even some small prizes to win. And these global hackerspace hackathons are announced on a call-in. So a call-in is really the place to learn what's around you, what's going on, what are the events. And I looked it up on hackerspaces.org. This is the number of registered hackerspaces, and I believe there's more. It actually is not a precise number. I think there are hackerspaces around the world that are not yet registered, so please do. We couldn't actually talk about hackerspace. As I said, it's a space for hackers, but what is a hacker? So I found few definitions and I didn't like any. It's hard to define, or it's extremely easy, depending how you approach the problem. One is, hacker is a person doing hacks, and it's a perfect definition, but it doesn't tell anything. What is a hack? You have to define it. If you're an IT person or a math person, you need to define things. So, one of the quotes from hacker.org is, it's the intersection between art and computers, technology, anything technical, which is sometimes beautiful. Let me give you an example. You know what LED lights are, for example, and I'm sure that there's in each of you, like it's in me, fascination by light. For example, you saw spinning LEDs on the entrance, and it's a hack and it's an art. It's somewhere in between, and it's both, and it's fun. Hacker is someone who's willing to really break things into components and learn about them. But breaking things in components is not always easy. You have social hackers, you have food hacking base, for example. You have hacks that are hard to compose of different elements. So it's not always easy, and society probably doesn't like, not probably, certainly doesn't like when you take things apart that are working. And that's what's it all about. Learn about the existing thing, rebuild it again so you can improve it, or find solutions that don't work, so you know not to go in that direction ever again. And hacker, well, as I said, we really don't know what a hacker is. Like, it's not this is the line, and on the left are the hackers, and on the right are not. It's something that's fluid and has its own fluctuations. So let me quote for Eric Raymond, who wrote Hacker How To. The world is full of fascinating problems waiting to be solved. No problem shouldn't ever be solved twice. Boredom and drudgery are evil. Freedom is good, and attitude is no substitute for competence. So, pardon my French, but one of the things we know about hackers that they are proof of concept or get the fuck out. You have that magazine on entrance, so we really like to show what we know and to learn by example more than I say so. And there's one, a guy I really like. He doesn't say he's a hacker, but he's too crazy not to be. His name is Brad Winter, and he gave a talk about the future of programming. And to quote him, the most dangerous thought you can have as a creative person is to think you know what you're doing. Because once you think you know what you're doing, you stop looking around for ways to of doing things. If you want to be open and receptive to new ways of thinking, the first step you have to say is yourself, I don't know what I'm doing. And they have an old saying, if you have a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. So that, when I say sorry. Whoa. When I say we really don't know, I mean it. We tend to not know. We're trying to persuade ourselves. We don't know what's the best architecture, what's the best software solution, what's the best software stack, or whatever we are doing in order to find new solutions, different, and some of them are going to be totally cheesy, and you know not to go that way. And you know, that's the only way you can find a really good solution. I don't know anything. So a little bit about hacker ethics. Hacker ethics is a term for the moral values and philosophy of the common in the hacker community, which, oh my God. Sorry. Okay, let's try like this. Usually we say that there are black hats and white hats, meaning there's an old story I've read when I started as a Linux user. Imagine that when you're admin, you have a special hat on your head, and you can do wonderful things. You can wave and this thing comes closer, or you can do magic. What you don't want to do is wear the hat all the time, because wearing a hat all the time makes you, for example, wave for someone at a station and you destroy the whole universe, because you have the power to do it. Similar with ethics, you're knowledgeable, you're all hackers, you're smart, you're smarter than most of people, and you can hurt them, really hurt them. It's up to you to be good, and it's up to you to find your definition what a good is, because I bet we cannot agree on one single thing, is it good or bad, whatever you choose. So it's a moral ethics, more than a written down set of rules how to behave. And we're usually technical to the degree, and that degree is unfortunately more than 50%. When I say unfortunately, I would love to see more art. Me myself, I'm a musician, and I would like to see novel ways how to record, how to perform, how to use hardware or Arduino, how to use some small machines as guitar pedals, as synths for electronic music, whatever, just make it fun, make it useful. So usually technical means we have to be. We are creating something and we need technology. So from our need for technology, we have a need to learn and to do it on our own. Usually in a community, but a small community, unfortunately. And we're trying to change that. So most of my talk is going to be about a hackerspace I helped co-found. It's in Novi Sad, and I hate to say it, it's the best hackerspace in the world. It's mine, and I'm subjective, so sorry. No, seriously, what is it? It's a hackerspace, so we gather people that are smart. We really want smart people. We really want to, sorry, again? As I said, it's a hackerspace, so all the talk I gave before stands here, and we're still trying. We're young. We found it on 1st of April, and it's not a joke. And during the summer, it's usually slow. People are on vacation. So you can say we're like few months old. So we really don't know if what a hackerspace is. We are still searching for our place in a hacker universe. It's definitely a collective effort. You don't create a hackerspace for your own, because you already have a space for your own. It's called your flat. And you do all kinds of funny things in your flat, but sometimes you really need other ideas, and it's always collective effort to pay the bills, to clean, to cook, to whatever comes to your mind you want to do. And it's definitely a physical place. Which means we're going to have a tour if you're interested. After this talk, we will go to a hackerspace to see how it looks like, although I will show some pictures. And a little bit about Tilda. It started last year almost in this room. Mitch Altman gave a talk about hackerspaces. And how cool that is. So he wanted to push us to forward in creating our own hackerspace. And we promised we will do it. So we had to. So the most of the team, the collective is from LUGoNS, but we're not limited to that. As a matter of fact, there's a startup in our hackerspace helping us financially and collaborating with us a bit. They're new in a hackerspace, so we're not collaborating fully, but I hope it will change. And other hackers that came to a BalCCon really helped. If you never founded a hackerspace, you don't know what you're dealing with. I didn't know, and none of my friends did. So we really needed other people's experiences to tell us what not to do and what to do, and what's smart and what's stupid. And there's even, not a hacker manifesto, but I don't know the exact title, pardon me, but guide how to create a hackerspace so it's easier for you. And one thing I'm really proud of, we are not all software or hardware. So I had my friend create this, which is copper plate carved on a CNC machine. We're trying to push hardware technicians to do something funny or something beautiful. If you're searching for us, this is on our door, so you can find us more easily. And this is how it looks today, just one room. We managed to have an empty flat, and finally we have tables, so you can sit somewhere, and chairs. But, you know, it didn't start like that. It started like this. There's a piece that's not visible here, which is like this high pile of blankets. So because we didn't have chairs, but we really wanted to meet and to hang out, we did it on a floor. So it doesn't have to be a fancy place, although a friend of mine planned it to be. So this is a 3D model of how we plan to organize our hackerspace. And not to bore you with too many pictures, but this is one of 3 rooms we have called presentation room. We're planning to have a hardware room and a room for rest. So whatever comes to your mind, you can do it there, or you can just call us and we can do it together. Uh, so what we are organizing are meetings, obviously, which are every Monday at 8 p.m. And it's a general meeting. Sometimes we talk technology, sometimes sociology, sometimes we just drink, sorry, or do something that whatever comes to our mind. But keeping a constant rate of meetings means to us, because we oftenly someone will tell me, okay, last week you said you're gonna do this. Did you? Sorry. And we figured there are things we know. You don't have to learn them the way we did. You can visit us on some of our lectures and maybe improve it, maybe learn something, but definitely have fun. And we do have hackathons. It started out, the Mondays at 8 p.m. started out as hackathons, but we really needed something called an off time. The time that nothing should be happening or will be happening. We just show up there and share ideas. So I invite you all to come, of course. And as I said, we're planning hardware workshops. I only know one guy currently dealing with hardware in our hackerspace, but we want to expand that, and we're planning on it once the finances are appropriate. We do have software projects. There's an idea of my friend that we are working on, and we're hoping that in the future there will be a crowdfunding, at least, to support this software project, so all the money will go to a center, so we don't have to work on cheesy jobs and have some fun. Did I say it's important to have some fun? And actually, this is my favorite part. Once there was sounds like a fairy tale, but once there was a girl in our hackerspace, we had a discussion about quantum physics. But it doesn't have to be that. I might be wrong, or I might believe in wrong things, but I like bouncing off ideas. I love crazy ideas. As long as it's not normal, we love you. So bring on crazy ideas, and we love to discuss about them. And for that, this is our Twitter, Facebook, and a website. So please visit us and give us comments, whatever the comment is. We would love to hear what you think about it. And honestly, I hope that there will be a lot of questions how to start your own hackerspace, because I know we're lacking hackerspaces, at least in Serbia. Thank you all. Are there any questions? I'm expecting you to have them. If the question is, did we do anything with a lazy bag? We didn't.
No, the question is, will you be there tonight?
I don't know.
Or will it be open tonight?
Yeah. I don't know about the time, because I still don't know when we are hitting the brewery, but it will definitely be opened. Anyone else?
You mentioned you're planning hardware workshops. I guess they're not limited to computer hardware workshops. So do you have any ideas what kind of workshops could we expect?
I know what I would like, but I'm not that much of a hardware guy. I have my own ideas for projects, like my own USB sound card, which is actually a mixer. But beyond that, I don't know what people are going to give talks about. Hardware workshops are actually something we plan in advance, because we still don't have a room for it. So it will be at least 6 months before we give a first talk or workshop about hardware. And by that time, I might learn a bunch of things, or I may persuade you to come. I know you're good, or anyone else. So we know what we would love to see, but we don't expect nothing yet.
Okay, one more question. What is the, how would I say it, working time of the Tilda Center?
You know, I saw Mitch giving out keys on a TED Talk in 2011, I think. And I was thinking, this is cool movement. I mean, you're giving keys to everyone, so you don't even have to lock, because there's someone in there all the time. This is what we do. We're lazy, so if you ask me for a key 3 times, keep it. I will make myself a new one.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Please, don't be shy. Okay, thank you a lot. See ya.